This is State Senator Pamela Althoff. I represent both McHenry and Lake County in the 32nd District in the state of Illinois. And today we are starting our 6th in a series of 12 videos visiting state sites. As you can see, I've got my hand rubbing Lincoln's nose. We're supposed to get good wishes and good luck from this, so I thought this would be an appropriate place to start our tour today of Lincoln's tomb. So let's start. All right, Justin, we have this beautiful entryway as you approach the tomb, filled with lush flowers. You know how important volunteerism is to me, so tell me exactly how all of this came to be.
Well, this is a wonderful symbol of the philanthropy and volunteerism and the work of state government that goes on every day. This is the result of a new partnership that we've initiated with the Executive Mansion through the Governor's Office. And we are able to benefit from the expertise and the advice of the horticulturist who takes care of the grounds at the Executive Mansion. And in turn, we've been able to enjoy donations that he has helped us arrange. And so we're just delighted that Farmers Market Nursery donated all of these plants to fill up the planters. And so we want to really thank the Department of Central Management Services and their Facilities Division for helping us move these very heavy planters from place to place and helping them, get out of storage. They are beautiful, but they are symbols of a beautiful story of people working together, being very efficient with taxpayer dollars, and people in our community who are supporting what we do and helping to make very important places look beautiful.
And tell me too about the boxes. They were actually done by?
It's another great story. These were created at Lincoln Land Community College in their workforce development program.
And it's important to me so that people can actually see that government does work well. There are efficiencies, there is collaboration, and we actually do some pretty spectacular partnerships with individuals.
And I also might note that the Department of Corrections, that's another state agency that was involved in this maintenance and the upkeep. And so we are very, very thankful at Historic Preservation to partner with not only the Executive Mansion, but those two other state agencies that have a lot of other responsibilities.
Now, Justin, obviously this is a familiar icon that most people can identify.
Yes, it is. This is a working model donated by the artist Daniel Chester French, who was responsible for the Lincoln Memorial. And so that's where it's going to resonate with people as a very important connection to our memorials in what people in Lincoln's time would have called Washington City, what we call Washington, D.C. So this actually predates the memorial. It was donated by Daniel Chester French for the Lincoln Monument and Tomb during a Reconstruction period when they were opening up the interiors and were searching for items that would resonate with people and provide opportunities for reflection. And so we're very thankful for the generosity of such important artists in our country. And so as we move throughout the corridors of the interior of the tomb, we'll see other famous small bronze statues that were also donated by other very significant artists.
And as we're making our way actually into the interior, we have an opportunity to see other bronze statues depicting Lincoln, perhaps in ways that we're not overly familiar with because they were smaller portions of his huge history. And here we have Lincoln as the soldier.
Absolutely. This is a very famous statue of Lincoln depicting him as a captain during the 1830s during the Black Hawk War. And although Lincoln never was involved in a skirmish or a battle in any way during the Black Hawk War, it was a very formidable time for him and a formative time in his development because he had the opportunity to interact with peers and be uplifted to the rank of captain, serving among other individuals. And so years later, he would reflect back and acknowledge the importance of that opportunity.
And how many people, as we're standing here, we're watching visitors to the tomb. How many visitors do we get here? Again, going back to the importance of tourism and the importance of access to our historic sites.
Well, the Lincoln Tomb is very, very significant in terms of its economic role in addition to its historical role. And on any given year, you'll have an average of between 215 and 275,000 people. Most recently, the IHBA has worked again with Governor Rauner and his administration to make sure the Lincoln Tomb can be open 7 days a week.
So Justin, now here we're at the entrance to the actual crypt and the remains of not only the president, but his wife and 3 of his sons.
And before we enter into the burial chamber, people have the opportunity to reflect on one of Lincoln's most emotional speeches, and that's his farewell address that he delivered on February 11th of 1861 from Springfield. So it's very fitting that people have the chance to read and take in and reflect on his speech called An Affectionate Farewell before they enter the burial chamber.
And Justin, here we are in the actual burial chamber. I think I know now he belongs to the ages, the very famous quote given at his deathbed by Secretary Stanton. This is one of the most important places an Illinoisan can come to visit. Why is that?
It's an opportunity for people to become extremely close to the Lincoln legacy. We can read his words in books, and we can reflect on his significance in statues, in places all around the country and indeed all around the world. But being in this particular chamber brings a proximity for us to the Lincoln legacy that, very frankly, is overwhelming. And so it's very clear to us of the need for not only our country, but again, people from around the world who are in need of democracy and in need of leadership to want to move into this space to reflect on the greatness and the leadership that defined Abraham Lincoln's time in political office. So I think it's as close as we can come in this life to being able to get close to that Lincoln legacy, and it makes it very personal. In addition, just by shifting perspective a little bit, we can turn around and see in this chamber that he is surrounded by many family members.
Right.
That personalizes the Lincoln legacy in a way that touches almost everyone very deeply in their heart. When we can see that he's resting in peace near his wife and 3 of his 4 sons.
You can find more information about all the Illinois historic sites on their website, which is illinoishistory.gov.